All right, welcome back to Rex Repairs. And today I'm going to show you how to adjust your parking brakes on your rear disc brakes if you have some with shoes. In my 99 Lexus, it does have shoes in addition to discs on the rear for those parking brakes. And in my state for Texas, for the inspection, I wasn't able to pass because my parking brake wouldn't engage all the way, and engaged fully to the floor, it would still roll forward and backwards in reverse and drive. And apparently that makes you fail. So came back the next day, messed with it a bit, and was able to figure it out. Since I already did this adjustment and passed my inspection, today I'm just going to show you a general brief walkthrough of all of the steps I did and how you can do the same. This process is actually quite easy and took me maybe 10 minutes at the most. So let's get right to it. So this is a process I already did, but just showing you so you know in case you need this information. Of course, parking brake on the left right there. Mine didn't have much resistance, went all the way to the floor. Ideally, you want 6 to 7 clicks for full engagement. So at this point, you are going to want to loosen your lug nuts before you jack up the car a little bit easier unless you have an impact and want to go crazy. So we're going to do that right now. So if you've never taken your lug nuts or wheels off, these lug nuts are 21 millimeters. And we're going to jack up the car. Get that wheel out the way. And for this step, you are going to want your lug nuts back on just so that rotor doesn't move around too much while you're doing this. But since I'm not really doing it right now, just a little walkthrough, I'm going to leave those off. So you want to rotate this open hole, or whichever of yours is open, that you can see all the way through until you get it right at the bottom at 6 o'clock. And you should begin to see, and right there is our little adjuster. It does have a few teeth, and that is where we are going to adjust with our flathead screwdriver. And right down here is what we are going to be adjusting. This process is to be done with your parking brake totally free, not depressed at all. Then get your flathead screwdriver. And to tighten them, you're going to go down and then up, rotating it back towards the passenger side of the car. This is the driver's side. So from down to up. So essentially this is making your shoes expand as much as possible. So at that point, when this is rotated all the way up, these are fully locked and you're not able to turn this left or right. You're then going to back it out. 8 splines, which are the little notches you can see in here. They're little raised points. In between those is where you're going to want to put your screwdriver to push that up or down. Let me zoom out a bit here so you can see. So if I am going to tighten them, I'm going to want to start with my screwdriver up, get on those splines, and then twist this, rotating it towards the other side of the car. When I am loosening it, the 8 turns, I'm going to want to start down on one of the splines and then push up, making that rotate towards me. I did look up the OEM manual, and I'm actually going to include that in the link down below, free PDF you can view or download. So again, we're going to want to turn these all the way up towards the other side of the vehicle until your brakes are fully engaged. Actually not, until your shoes are fully expanded and engaged and you are unable to turn your hub with your rotor left or right. And then we're going to want to disengage the shoes to contract them. And we're going to do that with this little guy in here. And you're going to count 8 splines. That's going to be going from up to down, rotating that towards you, releasing that pressure, so they're not constantly engaged and wearing down and dragging. Then once that's done, come back into the cabin, depress your brake pedal for the parking brake, and check your rotors. After you set your parking brake with your foot in the driver well, go ahead, come back here, rotate, and make sure that they don't turn, and you know you've done good. Go ahead, repeat the same steps on the other side, and then your parking brake should engage within 6 to 7 clicks and be much stiffer if it wasn't already. Of course, after this, throw your wheels back on, and the torque specs for these lug nuts are going to be 76 to 80 foot-pounds.